Everyone mocked when Aaron married Nova, a black woman with 3 kids. They didn't know that Nova would do something amazing that nobody expected. At a charity party, Aaron saw Nova across the room. She shone like a star with her warm brown skin glowing under the lights. Her big smile made everyone happy. Aaron felt nervous but walked over to her. When they met, he said, "Hi, I'm Aaron." Nova answered, "I'm Nova. Nice to meet you, Aaron." They started talking, and Aaron was fascinated by Nova's smart and funny way of speaking. She loved her job helping the community and talked about her big dreams for making the world better. As they talked, Aaron and Nova forgot about everything else. Aaron and Nova had a great time at the gala. They shared stories, laughed, and felt like they had known each other for years. When it was time to go, Aaron felt a bit sad and didn't want the night to end. He told Nova, "I know we just met, but I'd love to see you again. Would you like to have dinner with me sometime?" Nova thought for a moment and said, "I'd love to, but are you sure? People might talk about us because I'm a black woman." Aaron took her hand gently and said, "I don't care what anyone else thinks. I really want to get to know you better." Nova's smile came back and she said, "In that case, I'd love to have dinner with you." They exchanged numbers, feeling excited and nervous. They knew there might be challenges, but their connection was too strong to ignore. They were hopeful about what might happen next. At Aaron's summer barbecue, he stood with Nova, holding her hand. Beside them were Nova's 3 kids: Sophia, a tall teenager; Rowan, a shy 10-year-old; and little Ava, who was only 5. Aaron introduced them to his family and friends, saying, "I'd like you to meet Nova and her wonderful children." Everyone went quiet for a moment. Aaron's mom, Eleanor, was the first to speak. She looked surprised but gave a small smile and said, "Welcome. It's nice to meet you all." Aaron's best friend, Tom, was next. He had a big smile and shook Nova's hand warmly, saying, "It's great to meet you, Nova. Aaron has talked about you a lot." As people were introduced, Aaron felt some tension. His Aunt Martha whispered to his uncle, who looked unhappy. But Aaron's cousin, Sarah, knelt down to Ava and gave her a cookie with a kind smile. Nova stood tall and kept her head high, even though the reactions were mixed. She held Aaron's hand tightly to show support. Aaron's dad, George, asked Nova, "What do you do for a living?" Nova answered proudly, "I run a small bakery downtown. It's been in my family for generations." George nodded, but his face was hard to read. As the day went on, Aaron noticed that some of his relatives kept away, giving uncomfortable looks. Others, like Tom and Sarah, tried to talk to Nova and her kids, asking about their interests and hobbies. Sophia, who was very observant, whispered to her mother, "Mom, I don't think everyone wants us here." Nova put her arm around Sophia and said, "It's okay, sweetie. Change takes time. We're here because Aaron loves us, and that's what matters." Aaron heard them talking and felt both happy and a little sad. He knew it would be hard, but he loved Nova and her kids very much. As summer turned to autumn, Aaron's love for Nova and her children grew stronger. One chilly evening, he asked Nova to go for a walk in the park where they had shared ice cream and laughed together. The leaves crunched under their feet as they walked hand in hand. Nova's eyes sparkled in the setting sun, and Aaron's heart was full of love. He stopped near a big old oak tree and said softly, "These past months with you and the kids have been the happiest of my life." Nova smiled up at him, her eyes warm. "We feel the same way, Aaron. You've brought so much joy into our lives." Aaron took a deep breath, his hands shaking a bit as he reached into his pocket. He pulled out a small velvet box. Nova's eyes grew wide with surprise. Aaron opened the box to show a beautiful diamond ring and said, "I know we've had some tough times, but nothing matters more to me than you, Sophia, Rowan, and little Ava. I want to spend my life showing you how much you mean to me." Tears filled Nova's eyes. Aaron asked, "Will you marry me?" With tears running down her face, Nova nodded and said, "Yes, Aaron. Yes, I'll marry you." Aaron put the ring on her finger and then hugged her tightly. Aaron and Nova were so happy that they kissed each other's tears of joy. Aaron promised to love and support Nova and her children forever, no matter what. Nova hugged him tightly and said, "I love you so much, Aaron. The kids will be so happy." As they walked home holding hands, they excitedly talked about their future. They discussed their wedding plans, how they would tell the children, and the life they would build together. News of Aaron and Nova's engagement quickly spread through their small town. Most people were happy for them, but Aaron's family did not react well. The day after Aaron proposed, he went to his parents' house to share the news. As Aaron sat in their living room, his excitement turned to worry. His mother, Eleanor, looked upset, and his father, George, was angry. "Son, are you serious?" George asked with a gruff voice. "Have you thought about what this means for our family's reputation?" Eleanor added with a trembling voice. "What about the children? They might have a hard time. Is that what you want?" Aaron felt disappointed and angry. He took a deep breath to stay calm and said, "Mom, Dad, I love Nova. She and her kids are my family now, too. I thought you'd be happy for me." George shook his head and said, "We raised you better than this. There are plenty of nice girls in town who would be a better wife." Aaron stood up, his hands clenched. "Nova is more than suitable. She's kind, smart, and a great mother. I won't let your unfair views ruin our happiness." Later that week, Aaron met his friends at their usual hangout spot. He hoped they would be supportive, but his hopes were crushed. "Hey, Aaron," his friend Tom called out. "Heard you're doing something wild." The group laughed. Another friend, Mike, added with a smirk, "Watch out, man. I hear mixed kids can be a problem." Aaron's face turned red with anger. He slammed his hand on the table to get their attention. "That's enough?" Aaron said clearly, "Nova and her kids are my family now. If you can't respect that, maybe we shouldn't be friends anymore." Everyone became quiet and looked uncomfortable. Aaron took a deep breath and spoke gently but firmly. "I love Nova. She makes me happier than I've ever been. I won't let anyone, not even my old friends, be rude to her or her kids." As Aaron and Nova's wedding day got closer, they faced more unkindness from their small town. People whispered about them in the grocery store, and friendly neighbors avoided them. It was like a big, dark cloud was hanging over their special time. One sunny afternoon, Nova was picking up her kids from school when she heard other parents talking. One woman said, "Can you believe they're really getting married? It's just not right." Another person added, "I heard they're not even invited to the Johnsons' barbecue this year. Good riddance." Nova felt sad but tried to stay strong as she walked to her car with Sophia, Rowan, and Ava. She tried to hide her sadness, but Ava noticed. Ava asked, "Mom, why are people looking at us funny?" Nova hugged her and said, "Some people don't understand love, sweetie, but we do, and that's what's important." At school, the kids had their own problems. Sophia, who was 14, came home crying one day and said, "They called me names, Mom. They said, I don't belong here anymore." Mick, who was usually strong, said his friends stopped inviting him to birthday parties because their parents didn't want him there. Even little Ava, who was only 6, was having trouble. Ava's teacher told Nova that some parents complained about Ava being in the class because they were worried about problems. Nova felt very sad for her kids. She and Aaron knew some people would be mean, but the meanness towards the kids was very hard to bear. That night, as they tucked the children into bed, Aaron and Nova hugged each other tightly, finding strength in their love. Aaron said, "We'll get through this. Together, we're stronger than their hate." Nova agreed, her voice full of determination. Aaron and Nova sat at their kitchen table looking at papers about moving to a new house. They felt nervous, but they were hopeful. "Maybe it's time for a fresh start," Aaron said softly, holding Nova's hand. "We want a place where our love is accepted." Nova agreed, tears in her eyes. "Our kids deserve better. We all do." After weeks of planning, they chose a city known for being friendly and welcoming. Leaving their old home was hard, but they knew it was worth it. On moving day, their old neighbors watched from their windows, but no one came to say goodbye. Aaron and Nova focused on their new beginning. Their new house was a cozy two-story with a small backyard. When they arrived, the kids were excited. "Look, Mom, there's a tree house!" Rowan shouted, pointing at an old oak tree. "And there are kids across the street," Sophia said, noticing other children playing. Nova felt happy seeing her kids so excited. Aaron hugged her and said, "Welcome home." The first day of school was filled with nervousness. Nova helped Ava with her shoes, while Aaron made sure Sophia and Rowan had everything ready. "It's okay to be a little scared," Nova said, looking at each child. "But you're brave, and we love you so much." As they watched their kids enter their new schools, Aaron and Nova held hands, feeling hopeful. They knew there might be challenges, but for the first time in months, they felt happy. Aaron and Nova hoped their new start would bring the acceptance they wanted, but they soon learned that prejudice could follow them even to their new city. Aaron's business, which he had successfully moved, began to struggle. Word spread about his interracial family, and some clients started to pull away. At first, it was little things like canceled meetings and unanswered calls, but soon it became clear that their business was hurting. One afternoon, Aaron sat at his desk, looking at the pile of unpaid bills. He rubbed his temples, feeling the weight of their money problems. Then his phone buzzed with a message from a client canceling a big contract. "I'm sorry, Mr. Anderson," the message said, "but we've decided to go in a different direction." Aaron's heart sank. He knew what different direction really meant. It was the same hidden message he had heard back in their old town. That evening, as the family sat down for dinner, the tension was thick. Nova saw Aaron moving his food around his plate, worried. "Is everything okay, honey?" she asked softly. Aaron sighed and put down his fork. "We lost another client today," he said, his voice full of sadness. Nova reached out to hold his hand, but Aaron pulled away and stood up, needing some fresh air. Over time, the stress of their money problems began to affect their relationship. Aaron worked long hours at the office, trying to save his business, while Nova took extra shifts at the hospital, leaving them with little time together. One night after the kids were asleep, Nova found Aaron in their home office, working on paperwork. "Aaron, we need to talk," she said, her voice shaking a little. Aaron looked up, his eyes tired from lack of sleep. "About what?" he asked. "About us," Nova replied, her heart aching. Aaron's shoulders drooped. "I'm trying, Nova. I'm trying so hard to make this work and take care of our family, but it feels like everything's falling apart." Nova moved closer and put her hand on his shoulder. "We're in this together. We can't let their prejudice break us apart." Aaron nodded, but his worry didn't go away. They stood in silence, knowing the challenges ahead and the strain it was putting on their relationship. Nova was very proud when she read an email from Sophia's school. Her oldest daughter, Sophia, had won a big award for being the best student of the year. Nova felt so happy knowing Sophia had worked very hard. She called out to the kids, "Come here, I have great news." The whole family came to the living room. Nova told them about Sophia's award. Sophia's brothers and sisters cheered, and Aaron, who was Sophia's stepdad, gave her a big hug. "I'm so proud of you," he said, with tears of joy in his eyes. Sophia was really happy and couldn't wait for the award ceremony next week. But then, 2 days before the ceremony, Nova got another email from the school. When she read it, her smile went away and she looked very upset. Aaron noticed and asked, "What's wrong?" Nova's voice was shaky as she told him that the school was not going to give Sophia her award at the ceremony. "Why not?" Aaron asked, looking at the email. The email said they wanted to be fair and change their rules. But Nova and Aaron knew it was because of Sophia's race. Nova was heartbroken for her daughter. Aaron was angry and said, "We can't let them do this." When Sophia came home, Nova and Aaron told her what happened. Sophia's eyes filled with tears. But I worked so hard, she said quietly. Why don't they want to give me the award? Nova hugged her daughter and said, It's not because you don't deserve it. You earned it. Some people just can't look past the color of our skin. Aaron sat down and started typing a letter. He wrote about their family, how much they loved each other, and how Sophia deserved the award. Aaron had written a letter about the hard times his family faced because of their skin color. He talked about how his stepchildren were bullied, his business was struggling, and Sophia's award was unfairly taken away. As Aaron wrote, he cried but stayed determined. He ended the letter asking for help and change. With shaky hands, Aaron posted it on social media, not expecting much, but hoping it might touch a few hearts. To their surprise, Aaron's post was shared thousands of times within hours. By morning, it had gone viral and reached millions of people. Their phones rang non-stop with news outlets wanting interviews, and their social media was flooded with support. Nova showed Aaron the comments, amazed at how many people cared. They got messages from across the country with kind words, offers of legal help, and stories from others who faced similar problems. One evening, as the family read the supportive messages, they felt a little hopeful for the first time in a while. They didn't feel alone in their fight. The Anderson family was getting ready for their first TV interview. Nova fixed Ava's dress, Aaron helped Rowan with his tie, and Sophia nervously practiced her speech. Just before they left, Aaron's phone rang. He saw an unfamiliar number and answered carefully. "Hello. Is this Aaron Anderson?" asked a deep voice. "Yes, it is. Who's calling?" Aaron replied. "This is Mr. Carter. I think we have a lot in common," the voice said. Aaron's eyebrows went up. He knew Mr. Carter's name. He was a famous billionaire who donated a lot to civil rights causes. "I read your letter, Mr. Anderson," Mr. Carter said. "Your story touched me. I've been through something similar before, and I want to help. I'd like to offer money to help your business and support you in this fight." Aaron held the phone with shaking hands and looked at his family, who were watching him with curious faces. "Mr. Carter, I don't know what to say. That's incredibly generous of you." Nova moved closer and put her hand on Aaron's arm. He held her hand tightly, feeling strong from her touch. "Your bravery in speaking out have inspired many, including me," said Mr. Carter. "It's time we stand up against such unfairness. Will you let me help?" Aaron felt a lump in his throat. He looked at his family, Sophia's hopeful eyes, Rowan's nervous smile, and little Ava's innocent face. He thought about everything they had gone through and sacrificed. "Yes, Mr. Carter," Aaron said with a shaky voice. "We would be honored to accept your help." Mr. Carter's voice crackled on the phone. "There's one condition, Mr. Anderson. I'd like your family to lead some big community projects to promote racial unity." Aaron's eyes widened. He looked at Nova, who nodded encouragingly. "What kind of projects do you have in mind?" Aaron asked. "Town hall meetings, multicultural festivals, and educational programs in schools," Mr. Carter explained. "We need to show the world that love knows no color." Aaron felt excited. This was more than just money. It was a chance to make a real difference. "We'd be honored, Mr. Carter. My family and I are ready for this challenge." Nova squeezed his hand, and her eyes sparkled with pride. "We're in this together," she whispered. Mr. Carter chuckled warmly. "I thought you'd say that. My team will contact you with more details. Good luck with your interview today." After hanging up, Aaron told his family the good news. "Kids, we have some exciting news." Sophia's eyes lit up. "What is it, Dad?" Aaron explained Mr. Carter's offer and the condition. As he spoke, he saw excitement on their faces. "We get to plan festivals." Ava bounced on her toes. "Can we have cotton candy?" Rowan grinned. "Maybe I could teach a class about different cultures at school." "Those are great ideas," Nova said, hugging them all. "We'll work together to make this happen." Aaron felt warm inside as he looked at his family. They had faced many tough times, but now they were ready to take on this new challenge with open hearts. "We should get going," he said, checking his watch. We have an interview to do, and now even more to talk about. As they got into the car, they felt excited about their new adventure. Aaron felt hopeful with Mr. Carter's support and his family's determination. They knew it wouldn't be easy, but they were ready to try. The Anderson family sat around their kitchen table, thinking of ideas for their first community project. Sophia suggested a neighborhood cleanup. "That's perfect," Nova said. "Everyone can help, no matter their age or background." Aaron agreed. "It will make our new neighborhood look beautiful." They began making flyers and sharing the news on social media. But as the day of the cleanup came closer, some neighbors were doubtful. On the morning of the event, the Andersons arrived at the local park with trash bags and gloves. At first, only a few people came. Aaron felt sad but smiled and said, "Let's get started. Every little bit helps." As they picked up litter and weeded the park, something amazing happened. Curious people started to join in. An elderly couple brought homemade lemonade for the volunteers, and a group of teenagers showed up with their own gloves and bags. Rowan worked with his new classmates and said, "This is awesome. Look how many people came." Nova felt proud watching her family work with their neighbors. By midday, the park was full of people working together, laughing and chatting. The once skeptical neighbors now praised the Andersons for their efforts. As the day ended, the park was clean and beautiful, but the best part was the new sense of unity among everyone. An older man told Aaron, "I've lived here for 40 years and never seen our community come together like this. Thank you." Aaron felt emotional and said, "We're just happy to be part of it." As they packed up, Nova gathered her family and said, "Look at what we've accomplished. This is just the beginning." They went home tired but happy, knowing their project had been a big success and had brought their new community closer. After the cleanup, Aaron noticed his business was doing better. The phone rang more often, and he got more emails from potential clients. One morning, Aaron sat at his desk, feeling really happy as he signed new contracts for his business. Things were finally getting better after a tough time, and he was relieved to see the financial problems easing. Nova noticed Aaron's happy mood and asked, "You seem happier." Aaron replied with a smile, "Yes, things are going great at work. We have new clients, and Mr. Carter's help has opened many doors for us." At dinner, the kids noticed how happy their parents were and chatted excitedly. Sophia talked about her science fair project, Rowan mentioned joining the soccer team, and little Ava laughed while sharing a funny story from preschool. After dinner, Nova took Aaron aside and said, "I can't believe how much has changed in just a few weeks." Aaron hugged her and said, "We've been through a lot, but now we're stronger than ever." That night, as they all watched a movie together, there was a warm, hopeful feeling in the room. The hard times seemed to be fading away, replaced by a new sense of optimism. Sophia snuggled up next to Aaron and whispered, "Dad, I'm really proud of us." Aaron felt a rush of love and pride as he looked at his family, Nova, Sophia, Rowan, and Ava, safe and happy together. No matter what happened in the future, they knew they would face it together, stronger than ever. As their luck started to get better, Nova's bakery also became more popular. The yummy smell of freshly baked treats spread through the neighborhood, making people curious to visit her small shop. At first, some were unsure, but Nova's warm smile and the sweet smell of cinnamon and vanilla made them want to come in. Soon, everyone was talking about Nova's peach cobbler, which was the most popular treat. Customers started lining up early to buy her baked goods before they were gone. One day, Nova needed dough for her dinner rolls and had a great idea. She called out to Sophia, who was helping at the counter. "Honey, what do you think about having a bake sale for the local schools?" Sophia's face lit up with excitement. "That's a great idea, Mom. We could raise money for new books or computers." Nova felt very proud of her daughter's enthusiasm. She told Aaron about the idea that evening, and he was excited too. He wanted to help plan and promote the event. The family worked hard to get ready for the bake sale. Rowan and Ava made posters to hang around town. Aaron asked local businesses for help, and many agreed to support or sponsor the event. On the day of the bake sale, Nova and her kids set up tables in the town square with lots of tasty treats. The smell of fresh pastries filled the air, and soon people started to come by. At first, only a few people stopped, but as they tasted Nova's goodies, more and more neighbors and community members came to support the cause and enjoy the treats. Nova watched happily as her children helped the customers. Sophia handled the money, Rowan made everyone smile with his jokes, and little Ava wrapped purchases in colorful paper. As the day went on, Nova noticed that the people who were once unsure about her family were now smiling and talking warmly. The bake sale had become more than just a fundraiser. It was bringing the community together. After the bake sale, Sophia faced new problems at school. Even though she did well in her classes, some students and even a few teachers were still unkind to her. One day, Sophia came home crying. Nova asked her gently, "What's wrong, sweetie?" Sophia cried, "Mrs. William gave me a B on my history paper, and I know it deserved an A." Aaron overheard that Sophia was upset and joined them in the kitchen. He suggested gently, "Let's look at your paper together." The family gathered around the kitchen table and read Sophia's work. They all agreed that the paper deserved a better grade. Aaron said firmly but kindly, "We need to talk to the principal about this. It's not fair, and you shouldn't handle it alone." The next day, Aaron and Nova met with the principal, showing Sophia's paper and sharing their worries about Mrs. Williams being unfair. The principal promised to check into it. Meanwhile, Sophia found support from a new student named Emily. After class, Emily said, "I heard about what happened with Mrs. Williams. That's not nice. Do you want to study together sometime?" Sophia smiled, happy to have a new friend. "Yes, I'd like that." As days went by, Sophia and Emily became good friends. They studied together, and Emily introduced Sophia to her diverse group of friends. With this new support, Sophia's confidence grew. At home, the family helped her too. Rowan worked with her on math, Ava listened as Sophia practiced her presentations, and Aaron and Nova encouraged her to keep trying. Slowly, things got better at school. The principal had a serious talk with Mrs. Williams, and Sophia's grades started to show her real abilities. Other teachers noticed Sophia's hard work and intelligence. The family's community projects were doing well, and they planned their biggest event yet, a multicultural food festival in the town square. Aaron and Nova had worked hard, reaching out to local restaurants and families to join. The festival day arrived, and the square was lively with colorful booths and delicious smells from around the world. Just as the festival was going well, a group of angry protesters appeared at the entrance. They carried signs with mean words and started shouting. One protester yelled, "Go back where you came from," pointing at Nova and the children. Aaron felt sad as he saw the smiles disappear from his family's faces. He took a deep breath and held Nova's hand. "We can't let them win," he said quietly. Nova agreed, her eyes full of determination. "You're right, we've come too far to give up now." Together they walked towards the protesters with their children close behind. The crowd went quiet and the air felt tense. Aaron spoke calmly, "I know you're scared. Change can be scary, but look around. Look at all these people coming together, sharing their cultures and traditions. This is what makes our community strong." Nova stepped forward, her heart racing, but her voice steady. "We're not here to take anything away. We're here to add to our town's richness. We want everyone to live together, learn from each other, and grow stronger as a community." For a moment, there was silence. Then someone in the crowd said, "They're right. We're better than this." Slowly, more people agreed and formed a human chain around the festival to protect it from the protesters. The community was standing together, just like Aaron and Nova wanted. Seeing this, the protesters started to back away, unsure of what to do. Some put down their signs and others walked away. Aaron turned to the crowd and said, "Thank you. This is what we've been working for, a community that stands together no matter our differences." After the festival, the town council called a special meeting to talk about the tensions in the community. The town hall was full of people from everywhere, sitting and standing along the walls. Sophia, feeling nervous but determined, went to the podium. At just 16, she was the youngest speaker of the night. The room went quiet as she started to speak. "Good evening, everyone," Sophia began, her voice shaky but growing stronger. "My name is Sophia, and I want to talk about love, unity, and standing up against prejudice." She looked out at the crowd, seeing curious and skeptical faces, but everyone was listening. Sophia spoke to the crowd and said, "I've lived here for less than a year. During that time, I've seen both the good and the bad in people. I've met kind strangers and also faced unkindness from people who should be nicer. But I've learned something important. Love is stronger than hate." The audience listened carefully, leaning forward. Sophia continued, "When we let fear and prejudice guide us, everyone loses. But if we choose love and unity, we create a community where everyone can thrive. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it." Sophia shared stories about the tough times her family had, but also the moments of kindness that gave them hope. People in the audience nodded and some wiped away tears. Sophia said, "We have a choice. We can let our differences divide us, or we can embrace them and grow stronger together. I choose unity. I choose love. I hope you'll join me." When Sophia finished, everyone clapped and cheered. Even those who were unsure at first were moved by her words. It was clear that her speech made a big impact on everyone. After Sophia's speech, a big change started in the town. Inspired by her words, the community leaders and people planned a unity march. The march was set to bring everyone together for a more inclusive and happy community. On the day of the march, Aaron, Nova, and their children were amazed at what they saw. The town square was filled with people of all ages and backgrounds. Many carried signs with messages of love and unity. Nova said with tears in her eyes, "I can't believe how many people are here." Aaron held her hand and said softly, "This is what hope looks like." The march started with soft voices that grew louder as more people joined in. Windows were open and people were looking out. Some joined the march on TV news. Big news vans were parked on the streets, and cameras were taking pictures of the community coming together. Reporters were excited to talk to people and share this story with everyone. Sophia walked with her brothers and sisters and felt very proud. She saw that her words had helped make a change in the community. As they turned the last corner, they saw something surprising. A group of people with signs stood still. For a moment, it was tense, but then something amazing happened. An old lady from the Unity March went to the protesters and smiled. She offered her hand to one of them. After a little while, he took it. This simple act made everyone start talking. The family watched in amazement as the two groups started to understand each other. It wasn't perfect, but it was a good start. As the sun set, Aaron told his family, "This is what we wanted. It's just the beginning." Even after the march ended, it made a big difference. Aaron's business started to do really well. People heard about Aaron's bravery and wanted to work with him. One morning, Aaron's phone wouldn't stop ringing with news about new business opportunities. When Aaron came home that night, he was very happy. Nova saw him smiling and asked what was going on. Aaron hugged her and said, "Our luck is changing. The business is getting better." He told her about all the new clients and opportunities. Nova was excited and hope grew in her heart. Soon, Aaron's schedule was full of meetings and new projects. The money problems that had been tough for the family were getting better. One evening at dinner, Aaron told his kids, "Things are improving. We don't have to worry about money anymore." Sophia, Rowan, and Ava looked at each other with big smiles. Ava asked, "Does this mean we can get a puppy?" The whole family laughed and enjoyed the happy moment together. Aaron felt so happy. He looked at the smiling faces of his family and felt really thankful. Their love and support helped them through tough times, and now they were enjoying their success. Aaron's business was doing great, and everyone in the community was talking about it. At the same time, people started paying more attention to Sophia's school success. The school board, who hadn't given her a reward before, was now getting pressure from parents and leaders to fix their mistake. One evening, Nova got a surprise call from the school board president. She was nervous but answered the phone. "Mrs. Anderson," the president said, sounding sorry, "we want to fix our mistake. We'd like to have a special ceremony to honor Sophia's achievements." Nova's eyes filled with happy tears as she told her family. Sophia, who was reading on the couch, couldn't believe it. "Really?" she asked softly. Aaron knelt beside her and gently said, "You deserve this, Sophia. Your hard work is being recognized." The ceremony day came, and the school auditorium was full of people. When the Anderson family walked in, they were welcomed with smiles and cheers. The school board president spoke on stage, saying, "Today we honor an amazing student. Sophia Anderson has shown that talent and hard work are important." When Sophia's name was called, everyone clapped. She walked to the stage with her head up, and her family was very proud. The president gave her a shiny trophy and a certificate. He said, "Sophia, your excellent work inspires us all. We're sorry for our earlier mistake and hope this award shows our real appreciation for your hard work." Sophia accepted the awards with grace and spoke into the microphone. "Thank you for this honor. I hope my story helps others follow their dreams, no matter what." The audience clapped loudly, and then the president asked the whole Anderson family to come up on stage. The Anderson family was recognized for their courage and their strong bond with others. Aaron, Nova, Rowan, and Ava stood proudly with Sophia on stage, and everyone clapped for them. Their story of facing hard times but staying together touched people all over the country. It made people think about being fair to everyone, no matter their skin color. When the news about their story spread, many groups asked them to talk about their experiences. One sunny morning while they were eating breakfast, Aaron told his family they were invited to speak at a big event in Washington, D.C. Nova was excited and held Aaron's hand. Sophia wondered if people would really want to hear their story. Aaron told her that their story was important and could help others understand how to be kind and fair. As they got ready for their talks, they worked together to tell their story. They wanted to share not just the hard times, but also the kindness they received. Their first big event was at a local university. Nova felt nervous, but spoke confidently about how love should be for everyone, no matter their skin color. Aaron added that change starts with each person, and it's important to be kind and stand up for what's right. The audience listened carefully, and there were many emotions as they heard the Andersons' story. Sophia talked about wanting a world where everyone is treated equally. Her words made the room very quiet. The Andersons kept working hard on community projects because they knew real change needs action, not just words. One autumn morning, Aaron spoke to a group of volunteers with a determined look in his eyes. Today, they started building their new youth center. He was really excited and said, "This place will be a safe home for all kids, no matter where they come from." Nova agreed and added, "It's a place where dreams can grow and friends can meet." Everyone in the community came together to help build the center. They used hammers and paintbrushes, and as the walls went up, so did everyone's happiness. Sophia, now a confident teenager, took charge of planning fun activities for younger kids. She made sure there was a tutoring program so every child could get help with their schoolwork. While the center was being built, Nova had a new idea. She told Aaron we should start a scholarship fund to help kids who don't have a lot of money. Aaron was excited and said, "That's a great idea. We could help many kids follow their dreams." They talked to local businesses and community leaders, and everyone was very generous. Donations came in from small and big companies. At the first scholarship award ceremony, Nova spoke to the students and their families. She said, "Education is the key to a better future. We're here to make sure every child has that key." As they handed out the scholarships, they saw hope and thankfulness in the students' eyes. Each student had a dream and now had a chance to make it real. The youth center became a busy and happy place where kids made friends from different backgrounds. The scholarship fund helped students who might have been left behind. The Anderson family was enjoying their success and support from the community, but soon they faced a new problem. One morning, Aaron went to work and found his employees worried. Sarah told him, "We lost 3 of our biggest clients. They found better deals, but something seems wrong." Aaron felt sad because he had worked hard on his business. He found out that a rival company was spreading lies about his business and offering very low prices to steal his clients. That night, Aaron told Nova about the problem. He said, "I don't know what to do. If this keeps happening, we might lose everything." Nova took his hand and said, "We've faced tough times before, and we'll get through this one too, together." The next day, Aaron talked to Mr. Carter about what happened. Mr. Carter listened carefully and said, "Aaron, you've shown everyone what it means to be honest. Now they should help you." With Mr. Carter's help, Aaron and Nova planned a town meeting. They invited their current and old clients and people from the community who had received help from their projects. At the meeting, Aaron spoke to the crowd. Even though he was nervous, he spoke clearly. "I always believe in being honest and fair. We've built more than just a company. We've built friendships and trust." One by one, people shared how Aaron's business had helped the town grow, created jobs, and supported local projects. Nova's bakery was doing great. More and more customers came every day for her tasty treats. With Aaron's support and Mr. Carter's encouragement, Nova decided to open another bakery across town. The new bakery wasn't just a place to buy sweets, it became a symbol of hope and togetherness. Nova decorated the walls with pictures of different families and quotes about love and acceptance. On the opening day, Nova felt proud as she saw people waiting outside. When she opened the doors, everyone came in happily. "Welcome to Sweet Unity Bakery," Nova said with joy. The bakery became a popular spot. People from the town and nearby cities came to try Nova's famous cinnamon rolls and a special cake called the Unity Cake, which showed how beautiful diversity is. One afternoon, an older white couple came in looking a bit unsure. Nova greeted them warmly and gave them samples of her latest treat. As they tasted it, they smiled and talked with Nova about her family and the bakery's mission. The woman said, "We've lived here for 50 years and we've never seen anything bring people together like this place." Nova's children often helped at the bakery after school. Sophia, who was in high school, was great at decorating cupcakes, while Rowan and Ava made customers smile with their friendly faces. The bakery's success was more than just selling pastries. The bakery became a special place where people met for community talks, book clubs, and small weddings. Nova started a program where local schools could bring kids for baking classes. The kids learned not only about baking, but also how to work together and appreciate each other's differences. Soon, many people from all over the state came to visit the bakery because of its friendly atmosphere and yummy treats. Food bloggers and local news talked about how great the bakery was and how it helped bring people together. On the day Aaron and Nova chose to renew their wedding vows, the sun was shining brightly. They stood in the town square with lots of happy faces around them. Friends, family, and community members gathered to celebrate their love and hard work. Nova looked beautiful in a simple white dress, and Aaron was very proud. Their kids, Sophia, Rowan, and Ava, wore their best clothes and big smiles. The ceremony started with a quiet moment. A local pastor, who was a good friend of the family, began speaking. He said they were there to celebrate Aaron and Nova's strong love. Even though their journey was tough, their love and dedication to each other and their community never changed. Aaron and Nova held hands and had tears in their eyes as they said their vows. Aaron promised to always love and support Nova and to be grateful for every day with her and their children. Nova promised to be Aaron's partner and face challenges together, cherishing their family. When they exchanged rings, everyone cheered. Aaron and Nova's love touched everyone, even those who had not supported them before. After the ceremony, the square turned into a happy party with tables full of food from Nova's bakery and music everywhere. People from all backgrounds enjoyed the celebration, laughing and sharing stories. Mr. Carter, who had helped the family, made a toast saying that Aaron and Nova's love had brought everyone together and showed what loving without limits means. As the sun set, Aaron and Nova danced in the center of the square, surrounded by the warm and accepting community. Aaron and Nova Anderson had shown their love was strong because they had faced many challenges together. Their story became very well known. A big book publisher heard about them and wanted to turn their story into a book. Aaron and Nova were excited to share their story with everyone. They worked hard with a writer to tell their story in a book called Love Beyond Boundaries. This book told about their hard times, successes, and the good things they did for their community. When the book came out, many people read it and loved it. They were inspired by the Andersons' story of love and courage. Soon, a filmmaker wanted to make a movie about them. The Andersons thought this was a great chance to spread their message even more. The filmmakers followed them for months, recording their daily lives and community work. The movie, called United We Stand, was shown at a big film festival and got great reviews. As more people read the book and watched the movie, they felt moved by the Andersons' story. The Andersons' story became famous and inspired many people to fight against unfairness and support equality. Schools started using the book to teach kids about kindness and understanding. Community groups showed the movie and talked about how to make their neighborhoods better. The Andersons' story made a big impact, and people from different backgrounds began their own projects to fight against prejudice and help others understand each other. Social media was full of people sharing their stories and promising to make a difference. The Andersons' hard work to promote love and unity was getting recognized everywhere. One sunny afternoon, Aaron and Nova got a surprise letter from the Parker. With shaky hands, Nova opened the envelope and read it out loud to Aaron. "We've been invited to the City Hall Gala," she said, her eyes shining with joy. "They want to give us the Civic Leadership Award for helping our community." Aaron hugged Nova, feeling very proud. "We did it together, you, me, and the kids. We're making a difference, step by step." The night of the gala came, and the Anderson family dressed up in their best clothes. When they walked into the big ballroom, everyone stared at them. The Parker went on stage and started his speech. "Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great honor to give the Civic Leadership Award to Aaron and Nova Anderson. Their hard work to bring our community together has touched many lives and inspired us all." As Aaron and Nova took the award, the room burst into applause. Tears sparkled in Nova's eyes as she looked at all the happy faces in the crowd. This was just the start. In the weeks that followed, more awards came. The Chamber of Commerce gave Aaron the Business Ethics Award for his strong principles. Nova's Bakery got the Small Business of the Year Award for her tasty treats and friendly shop. Their children were recognized too. Sophia got a special award from the school for her speech on unity. And Rowan and Ava were honored by the Youth Center for their volunteer work. Even though they were receiving many awards, Aaron and Nova stayed humble. They saw these awards as signs that their community was coming together and healing. Their story of love and hard work inspired everyone. Slowly, the town started to become kinder and more accepting. One sunny afternoon, Aaron ran into his old friend Tom while leaving work. Tom had been one of the first to pull away when Aaron and Nova got together. Now he looked sorry and sad. "Aaron," Tom said with a shaky voice, "I owe you and Nova an apology. The way I acted when you two got together was wrong. I was scared and didn't understand. Can you forgive me?" Aaron felt surprised and hopeful. He put a hand on Tom's shoulder and said, "Of course, Tom. What matters is that you're here now, ready to make things right." This was just the start. In the next few weeks, more of Aaron and Nova's old friends came forward, each apologizing for their past actions and saying they were sorry for not accepting Aaron's marriage to Nova. Nova's bakery became a special place where old friends could come to talk and make up. They would order a coffee or pastry and sit with Nova to fix things. Her warm smile and kind nature made it easier for people to say sorry for their mistakes. One day, as Nova was closing the bakery, some old coworkers came to see her. They had been unkind when Nova and Aaron first got together. Now they looked sad and nervous. One of them said, "We were mean to you. We couldn't see how wonderful your love with Aaron was. We are really sorry for what we did." Nova's eyes filled with tears as she heard their honest apology. She gave them a big hug and said, "Thank you. Your apology means a lot to me." Soon, more people in the community started thinking about their own actions and wanted to change for the better. Neighbors who used to avoid each other now greeted with smiles. Community events had more people from different backgrounds joining in happily. Aaron's business started to do even better because he worked hard for fairness and justice. Old clients came back, and new ones who shared his values joined too. Anderson Enterprises became known for doing the right thing. Aaron made sure to hire people from all backgrounds and started a program to help young people learn about business and become successful. One day, Aaron walked through his office and heard two workers talking excitedly about a new project. "Can you believe we're working with that inner city school?" one said. "It's amazing how much good we're doing." Aaron smiled to himself, feeling proud. This was just what he had hoped for when he wanted his business to help others. Meanwhile, Nova's bakery was doing great. What started as a small shop was now a favorite place in town. People came not just for her tasty treats, but for the friendly feeling she had created. Nova added recipes from different cultures to her menu, showing the town's diversity. She also started a program for local kids to learn baking after school. One day, as Nova taught kids how to make cupcakes, she looked at their happy faces and felt very happy. The Anderson family's life was now steady and happy. Sophia, Rowan, and Ava were doing well in school, making friends, and doing great in their studies. The problems they faced before seemed like a distant memory. Aaron and Nova had more time to enjoy simple things like watching their kids play in the backyard and talking about their day. One evening, Aaron said to Nova, "I never thought our life could be this good. We've been through so much, but look at us now." Nova squeezed his hand, her eyes shining with happiness. "We did it together, Aaron, and we'll keep making things better one day at a time." One crisp autumn morning, the town was excited for the anniversary of the Anderson family's first big project. Everyone came together to celebrate. The park, which had once been neglected, was now full of flowers and laughter. Children played on new equipment while adults chatted and shared stories of how the Andersons had helped them. Aaron and Nova watched, holding hands, their eyes full of tears of joy as they saw the results of their hard work. "Can you believe it's been a year already?" Nova whispered, holding Aaron's hand. Aaron smiled, feeling full of love and pride. Time flies when you're making the world better, one community at a time. The Parker came over with a warm smile and said, "Mr. and Mrs. Anderson, it's time for the ceremony." As they walked to the stage, the crowd clapped and cheered. Sophia, Rowan, and Ava joined their parents, smiling with pride. The Parker spoke into the microphone. "We are here today to honor a family who has shown us love, bravery, and unity. Aaron, Nova, and your wonderful children, you came to our town during a hard time. You faced problems, but instead of letting it stop you, you fought with kindness and understanding. The crowd cheered, many wiping away tears. Your first project, this park, was more than just cleaning up. It showed us what we can do when we come together, no matter our differences. Parker revealed a plaque honoring the Anderson family. This plaque will remind us of your bravery and love. It will inspire future generations to stand up for what's right and always lead with kindness. Aaron stepped up to speak, his voice shaky with emotion. We didn't want to be heroes or change the world. We just wanted to love each other and be accepted. But we learned that love can change not just people, but whole communities. Nova joined him, her eyes shining. We're thankful for everyone who supported us and opened their hearts. This celebration isn't just about us, it's about all of you and the wonderful things we can do when we stand together. The crowd cheered loudly, their faces showing the love and unity that had grown in their town. As the Andersons hugged each other, surrounded by their community, it was clear that their story of strength and love had made a big impact on everyone there. Would you stand by your love like Aaron did for Nova, even if others were not kind? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to my channel. I spend hours writing these heartwarming stories for you, and your support keeps me going.